All right, I'm here with Cajun Dave and Big Sexy, aka Tony and Dave, two of the founders of Wildrose Brewing, and we're going to talk a little bit about their business, how they started, and they have been expanding recently. Got into a couple of local liquor stores, and you guys are always at the Central Market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always get your beer when I'm there, so.
Yeah, we always we alternate with the other brewery in town,
Nice.
And basically it'll be us one week and them the other.
Very cool. So they got a really nice facility here, really cool people, fun vibe, and definitely make sure you guys check them out. And all right, let's get into a little bit about you guys. Mind starting telling us about how you started and what made you decide to do this?
Well, we all started on Wildrose Lane in Cherville and started brewing in our garages, and it was back when the region really didn't have that much as far as craft beer offerings. We obviously had Crown and Three Floyds, but there wasn't as much going on as there is now.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff we were making, people enjoyed, and we were kind of like, hey, maybe we should try to open a spot. And Griffith was a cool town to try to do that in.
So on Wildrose Lane in Cherville.
Yes.
That's cool. And that's something I didn't know. That's
That's where
the name of the brewery came from, is Wildrose Lane. We all started in our garages.
So we all lived on Wildrose, and we'd say, hey, you want to brew today? Okay. So yeah, it was fun. We'd sit out there with the smoker, and we'd have the smoker going, cooking or barbecuing or whatever, and yeah, it was a great time. I miss doing the homebrew stuff too.
Yeah. Now you're corporate.
Yeah, we still hang out in the garage and stuff, but we're not up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning with getting the HLT ready and stuff. So
Who does the artwork?
It's actually a guy out of Texas that is a graphic novel comic illustrator that hit us up and basically on our social media email address and said that he really liked kind of the appearance of the place, and he thought it fit well with his artistic style, and so far it's proved to be so.
Nice.
he's a hell of an artist, I'll tell you that.
And again, he's not just a label designer. He's a graphic artist, an illustrator, and his work is just amazing.
We kind of tell him what we're looking for, and he just in his head it does a wonderful job for us. Wonderful job.
Very cool. All right, let's talk about the beers. Let's start, and we'll just mention the beers that we have here.
Okay, this is kind of a newer offering that we're getting involved in. It's a heavily fruited sour beer style, which is recently become really popular, and we wanted to add an offering for the people that were really looking for that kind of stuff. So this is actually a red raspberry slush. It's again raspberry and sour and just really, I think, delicious.
It's really taken off. A lot of the customers really like it. We're experimenting, doing different flavors. We've had red raspberry. We
did a blue raspberry slush. We did a lemon sherbet. We did a pina colada. So it's kind of like this is our first kind of test with this. So we're doing a bunch of different flavor combinations to see what we're gonna ultimately do. So far, it looks like we'll brew it next week, and we're gonna do blue raspberry and the lemon sherbet. Those were the two most popular flavors.
What is it that makes it a slush?
Basically, it's the amount of adjunct fruit in it, along with other things to kind of give it a fuller body and a thicker mouthfeel.
Huh. I'm gonna have to try it after this.
Well, it is very good. It reminds me of like a Sour Patch or something. It's like you got to get used. If you like sours, it's really, really good.
This kind of gets in the same lane as what a cider might for a lot of people. So it allows us to kind of build something that people that appreciate ciders, which we always have a cider on draft.
Yeah.
But this kind of gets in that same lane as what a cider drinker might like.
Cool. What are you drinking?
That's Big Sexy, obviously. That's
Is that you always drink Big Sexy?
pretty much, yeah. That's my go-to all the time. I might have West Coast hopper. It depends. You can't be drinking. It's 6.5%.
Yeah.
There's like when we do the big batch, there's 22 pounds of citra hops in each batch. So I mean, it's really good. It's my favorite. It's always been my favorite. So.
Did you
named after me, obviously.
Yeah. So how did you get that name?
Dave started calling me that years ago.
Yeah. I didn't call it Big Sexy.
What were you calling me back then?
That was funny. Yeah. All right, so mine here is off the secret menu. It's a mix of the Big Sexy and the Juicy Bear, and it's a very high percentage because the Juicy Bear is pretty high. But
well, Juicy Bear is just under 7, and the Big Sexy's a little over 6.
Yeah.
So it's going to get you close to the 7% range.
But I like it because it's really smooth. It's very, very drinkable.
A lot of flavor, a lot of different flavors in there and stuff.
It's a little sweet, but not too sweet.
Well, and the Juicy Bear is a New England style IPA that doesn't have a whole lot of bitterness. It's more kind of just hop flavor and aroma. And then the Big Sexy has, again, it's not overly bitter, but it has a fair amount of bitterness. So it kind of balances those things if you're not really into a lot of bitterness in your beer.
We have a few other beers on the secret menu too. So
yeah, Sam, our main bartender, she's really creative and involved. As far as developing the mixed beers.
This one, so.
Yeah. So Sam's always got a secret menu beer for you.
Yeah. Nice. Do you guys have like a favorite story about like maybe when you were making a beer or a brewing mistake that happened there?
Just probably Kevin and I went for training to Colorado for a couple weeks to kind of get exposed to the transition from small brewing to bigger brewing. We went from 5 and 15 gallon batches to 217 gallon batches, and so just to get exposed to professional brewing equipment and things like that. And when we thought we were prepared, and our first couple brews here were pretty challenging to say the least.
Especially when the pump went out on our first brew.
So it definitely it took some time to kind of really get our hands around brewing larger volumes and on bigger equipment, and getting equipment that we needed to make it go well, and so we've done that, and we've added a bunch of additional capacity since the original opening.
It's not as easy as doing the home brew and just multiplying it by that much more. A little more involved.
It was a little challenging initially. We had some kind of really tough first couple brews, but since then things have been going pretty smoothly.
What do you guys do? Like, what's your mindset when you're working with the employees and everyone about making the vibe that you have? Like, how do you work with them?
Pretty much what we try to do is we just want to be open and kind of friendly to anybody that comes in here. There's no attitude about what your level of craft beer experience or expertise is. We again, our goal is to make the best beer we can possibly make, and so that should appeal to people that enjoy craft beer. But we don't want to give any of the attitude that some places might
come across.
Kind of be associated with, as far as you're not smart enough to be here, and that is certainly, again, we're trying to make this place fun and accessible to everyone.
We have everybody from lawyers to doctors, politicians come in, all the way down to your regular, white collar, blue collar worker. Just
got a transmission part salesman. That's here. So
nice. Very cool. What is something new that's going on that customers might not know about that you're working on?
Well, pretty much the sour series has not been something we've historically been involved in, and I have a feeling that it's going to be something that will probably be brewing at least every month. We added kind of a Radler version of one of our New England style IPAs. That's going to be a raspberry lemonade for summer, and we got a label design for that.
Sells really well.
And so we're kind of doing kind of more seasonal adjustments to what we're brewing to kind of fit the season. We kind of, it took us a while, obviously, like a lot of small brewers, to kind of get in the groove of just brewing the things that were our standards.
Right.
And now that we're kind of comfortable with that, we're starting to make some kind of more seasonal adjustments to our brew schedule.
Very cool.
The sours in the summer, I think, are gonna be, sit outside on the patio. You can bring the dog, the kid. We got 14 picnic tables out there now. So bring your family, friends, hang out, have a bite to eat, a couple beers, hang out, and just have a good time.
Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. What is the best thing about Griffith?
I love Griffith. I really do. It's a wonderful town, man.
I mean, just the vibe of the place,
everything,
the rock and rail, the Central Market, it's just, and just kind of the cool. Obviously, we're a little bit further off of downtown than some of the other businesses are, but there's just really a cool offering of things there. You have the taxidermy place, you have Grindhouse, you have Tapas now, you have it's just it's cool when you ride during the summer down Broad Street and you see people sitting on benches or walking down the street, which you don't see in a lot of the region downtown. So it seems to have a real, obviously it's not what kind of the squares of Crown Point and Valpo have, but for what it has, I think it's really well embraced, and people really use the downtown area of Griffith.
The central park over there always have different things going on over there, art shows, and the Friday fest that they have, and it's just a fun time.
So what's something that people don't know about Dave? Tony?
Oh, Dave, he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends. He's been one of my buddies for years, man. I love the guy. I'd do anything for him, but
we help each other out.
I love you, man.
I love you too, Tony.
Literally, if I call him up at the house, say, hey, I need this, come over and help me. He's always there for me. So it's good to have good friends, and he's one of my best friends. Him, Kevin, Gerardo. Gerardo's over there. We got him working. He's been. I'm going to throw him in here real quick. He's been coming around the brewery for, years, and just started hanging out, and he just, started working. He just kind of, hangs out and just works there. He's a great guy, but baseball is a big part of both of our lives here. His son's on a travel team. My son's on a travel team, so they're always, going places, playing ball and stuff.
Pretty much our summers are gone.
Yeah. That's why we got to work so hard during the
springs.
The week. Yeah.
So.
He had tournaments this last weekend in Midlothian. I was in Aurora. So to be honest with you, with Sammy and Tommy, our head chef, and the rest of the crew, we really don't have to worry about it. I mean, these guys, they've been around a long. Sammy's been with us forever.
And Jessica's recent, but she's a huge
good worker
huge
too.
part of our place now.
You want to say something about Tony?
Pardon me?
You want to say something about Tony?
Hey, he's the big sexy, and he lets me hang out with him, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. You guys are all really cool, chill, down to earth, like talk about anything.
Pretty much.
Like I said, we're just regular dudes. We just started brewing in the garage at the house, and just kind of moved to this. It's almost like a garage, with the garage door out there now. It's like we're in my garage, or our garage, but it's just bigger. There's a lot more people here. My wife ain't yelling at me.
I mean, a lot of people really talk crap about the region.
Yeah.
It almost like it's a negative thing, but other than the weather, which isn't unique to the region, is the only really complaint I have. I like the people here. I like the towns here. I like the businesses that are available here. It's really a great place to live, in my opinion.
And we both grew up in the Midwest. I mean, Dave grew up in
Lansing,
Linwood,
East Cal City,
and I was Cal City. So, I mean, we really know, the area and the region and everything else. But,
we've been in Northwest Indiana and the region for 26 years, and I grew up a block from the state line. So I mean, it's we really like, at least my wife and I can't speak for everyone, but we really like being here.
Oh yeah.
And again, other than the weather and the trains, those are the only complaints I have.
Weather and trains, damn them, damn them.
Very cool, guys. So you were telling me earlier you recycle the grains?
Yes.
Yeah, we basically, when we clean out the mash tun, instead of going in a dumpster, we have a farmer from LaPorte that brings a trailer, and we put the grain in the trailer, and then he feeds it to his cows. And so I can't remember how many head of cattle he has.
He's got quite a few, and he says that's their favorite thing to eat. He mixes it in with their other feed, and he said they really enjoy it. He could tell, because it's got sugars and stuff in it. So
And there's no alcohol in the grain.
No.
A lot of people are like, oh, are the cows getting drunk? No, they're just
like
eating.
That squirrel eating, the fermented fruit.
They're eating grain that has just been rinsed, and it's effectively just a lot of fiber at that point.
And years ago, when we were doing the small batches at the house, we used to take the grain, and Dave's wife would make pretzels with it. And we'd have big,
pretzels and dog treats and things like that. Yeah.
Eat that with some mustard. Oh my God, it was good. Good stuff.
The artwork earlier, what I was thinking about was the painting, the art.
Oh, the wall and the outside of the building.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
So did that same guy kind of design that?
No, it's a different guy. Yeah.
So who is it that did the design on the outside and the inside wall here?
Yeah. Well, he's a local guy too. I think they live in Lowell now. His girlfriend or fiance, I'm not sure what the exact relationship is he just does really cool kind of artwork like that. He did all the artwork in Beer Geeks. He did, because when we first opened this place and we did the design of the bar, and I'm like, we have this huge empty wall on the north side of the bar. And like, we need something there. And I remember that this guy did, he does all kinds of artwork. He did like a Chicago skyline for a dentist office. He did all the kind of pop art stuff for Beer Geeks. And I remember that he said that he was really kind of into the graffiti style, and we were going with kind of an urban kind of industrial vibe. And I thought some graffiti would be cool. So I hit him up and I said, hey, we want something on the wall. And it's kind of like all of our artwork, we kind of let the artist run with it. We kind of give him kind of a vague description of where we want to go with it. And he basically took that wall and I think it was maybe 6 or 7 hours on 2 days of a weekend, and did a really cool art piece, at least we think. And a lot of people that come in, they take their Instagrams and photographs in front of that wall just because it's so cool. And when we were considering, when we were open for a little while, we had a little bit more money, and we're trying to think of what kind of sign we wanted to put on the building. We said, hey, let's get July and have him come in and do something on the outside of the building. And we basically had to go to the town and have them approve the square footage of the sign based on what their ordinances were. And they weren't being difficult, but we just wanted to basically comply with their rules. And I think originally they said they didn't want skulls on the outside of the building, which is part of our logo. And I think when they saw that we were going to be good citizens, good business owners of Griffith, and not be difficult, that that we weren't whatever vibe people imply by skulls, we weren't going to be that. So then they agreed to let us put the graffiti kind of reinterpretation of our logo on the outside of the building.
they're both like really iconic pieces, like very unique. Like
Right.
you see those, like they know who you are.
We
like,
I see people come in from out of town. They'll stand, they'll stand in the parking lot
People
in
come
front
in
of the thing.
their
and,
wedding limo and
they'll
get a
take
picture
pictures.
by
Yeah. We've actually had not weddings here, but we've had people come here before their weddings, like a bachelor, before they actually go to the wedding. They're all in their suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get pictures back here? We've let them back, taking pictures in front of the fermenters and stuff, and it's exciting for us too. It's a big moment in somebody else's
for
life.
people wanting
And they want to do
that
that
to be
here.
part of
Yeah,
their special day
yeah.
is really cool to us. That someone would choose to do that.
Yeah.
So can you talk more about events? Like, what kind of events do you guys have here?
Well, obviously in the current environment we
Situation.
operate in, there hasn't been a whole lot. We used to do like an anniversary party in the parking lot, and we used to do live music
bands
shows
every Friday.
and things like that. But that whole kind of, it's not the same vibe as it, because some people are really comfortable with the current situation, and some people are not comfortable with the current situation. And we want, again, everyone to be comfortable. And some people are frustrated that we're not doing those things anymore. But again, we have a lot of people that appreciate that they can feel safe here.
I mean, we'd love to have the bands back. I mean, we miss them, but I mean, to make everybody feel comfortable that comes in here, then you have to weigh, I mean, if you wanted to have, 15, people or 20 people in a spot, we could probably accommodate something like that, but we've never had any issues here. I've never even seen an argument here or anything between any kind of customers.
Except for
or
me and
anything.
Big Sexy, we argue once in a while.
We argue all the time, but usually back here.
There was a fist fight before the video, but
I only hit him twice. I don't call that a fight. He said, "I'm sorry, please stop." No.
yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you guys check them out. They're close to the corner of Colfax and Main Street.
1104 East Main Street.
There it is. So,
Griffith, Indiana.
yeah, they got an awesome patio. It's really nice to hang out there during the summer.
2,000 square foot patio.
Well, on the cooler days, we have heat there now. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just installed the heat. Yeah.
So if it's one of those questionable days where you're like, you know what, it's nice now, but in an hour or so it's going to be cool. Well, we have heat that will kind of extend your comfort
There's
level.
people sitting out there now, and it's I don't know what the temperature is. And there's it's snowing outside, and there's two people out there sitting on the patio. I'm like,
But dog friendly, family friendly.
Dog-friendly,
In the patio, we can't have dogs inside the brewery, but yeah. So it's again, it's friendly and accessible, and the people that work here are friendly.
I mean,
Come here, you'll have a
Sandy
good
and
time.
Jess and all the other bartenders.
You'll love it here. You'll get to know the waitresses and the owners. Definitely.
One of us is usually here. Most
Tony's
of the time.
always here. Drinking. How many?
I'm working
beers?
it. I'm working it.
But
Not drinking it.
Thanks for watching. If you guys want to hear more about the local Griffith businesses, make sure you subscribe to parkbench.com/Griffith. And
He's the guy.
if you are looking to move, buy, sell a house, call me. I'll put my link in the description. You can get in touch. I'd love to help you out. It was a lot of fun. And as always,
Keep it small town.
that was
That was good. Good job.